What's good, everybody? It's Jonah coming back at you in another video. So for this video, I want this video to serve as a reminder for folks out there folks that are in the workforce who might be frustrated, angry about their current position or where they're at, right? And need some sort of guidance or just that gentle nudge, right? And I want to do this with the video. This video here is to remind you that you are not your occupation. Now, I have a few occupations that I've written down of some examples I want to talk about. Of course, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to make fun of or demean any of these occupations, because I understand that, of course, there's plenty of hard workers everywhere. And I know that, if someone is working a position that they don't necessarily want to work in, chances are it can be because they need to pay bills or make ends meet or take care of the people that they need to take care of, etc., etc., right? I understand everyone is going through their own set of situations. And so, of course, by no means am I trying to belittle any of these positions, right? But with this video, of course, I'm here to tell you that you are not your occupation, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a server at a restaurant, right? Because I know that there can be servers out there who can be providing exceptional service to guests at a restaurant, and these servers could be paid minimum wage or not be compensated well by the restaurant itself, and then they may not be receiving many tips from the customers who eat there, or it could very well be that they are great at their position but business is slow or the restaurant isn't doing the best, and so the servers themselves are not doing well, right? Doesn't matter if you're a server. It doesn't matter if you're a custodian or janitor, right? Because oftentimes people look down at these individuals because they have to clean up the mess of other people or clean, restrooms and the waste of other people and all these things. But custodians are essential workers and they help keep facilities and places everywhere, office building, whatever it is, clean. So shout out to the custodians or janitors, right? It doesn't matter if you serve as a custodian either, right? You are not your occupation, right? You were not, I would like to think, right, that you were not necessarily put on this planet to just, if you're a server, right, to just serve at a restaurant from whenever you start, say if it's right out of school, for the rest of your life, if that's not something that you want to do or that you're not passionate about, right? Same idea with a custodian or janitor, right? Oftentimes people may demean them because it's not necessarily a desirable line of work, and oftentimes their work gets overlooked by other people, right? Not knowing that it's, of course, important and essential to have areas clean, right? Whether it's a school, whether it's an office, whether it's a general facility, right? But oftentimes their work is underappreciated and overlooked, right? And if you're serving in that role, you're not that occupied, like you're not that, right? You are worth more than that. It doesn't matter right now if you're doing DoorDash or Uber Eats and just delivering food, right? Like that can just be what you're doing for the time being to make ends meet, but that does not have to define you and who you are, right? You are capable of accomplishing anything, of becoming anything or anyone you want in this lifetime. You have the ability to create that. So oftentimes people fall into the trap. People who are working in these occupations may fall into the trap of being short-sighted and thinking like, because I'm here, therefore I will be here, right, for the foreseeable future, because I don't have an answer for what's next. And I'm here to tell you that, one, you're worth more than that, right? That your occupation does not define who you are. It does not, right? Because what you're doing right now it's just temporary. It's just allowing you to get by. But you can have more, be more, and accomplish more. You can live life beyond your wildest dream. It could just be that right now, that's what you might have to do for the time being. But that's okay, because you were destined for more. You were destined to be more, to have more, to accomplish more. You're destined to have a blissfully happy and joyful life. This is why this video is crucial. It is important. It's needed because you don't really see many videos like this. Most of the videos you come across online or like in the space is probably just entertainment videos, which is good to be entertained and sometimes take your mind off of important things, but oftentimes we need to have like deep conversations and have reminders of our true power and who we really are, so that we never lose sight of that, right? So even if you're doing any of these positions right now, it is not your occupation, because you are worth more. There's no job that can ever pay you what you're actually worth, because you can offer so much, not only to yourself, but to everyone on the planet, to the world around you. And that right there is a blessing. Even if right now you're not where you want to be, that's okay, right? Because I know what it's like to be at point A and you can have a dream life at point B, but because you don't have the method or the route or the explanation or the answers for how to get from point A to point B, it's easy to just lose hope and think that it'll never happen. But what that does is basically always needing to have the answers. What that does is that you're basically just stripping away life itself, right? Because there's so many events that we can't account for. There's so many events that'll happen, so many people that will come across that will help us push us towards our goal that we can't account for, that we believe that we need to have the answers ourselves for everything in order for something to happen. But you can have hope in something happening without even having any evidence of how you're going to get there, because that is how life unfolds, right? But if you're in these positions where you're not in a desirable spot, you can still take action on improving yourself. You can still go get books and listen to audios, self-development that can help bring out the best version of you, so you can better understand yourself and the world around you, right? How can you expect to change your situation if you don't even try to change yourself or better yourself, right? Once you begin bettering yourself, that's when you'll realize that opportunities exist all around you, that they've been there. Because oftentimes we might have the blinders on, thinking that there's nothing else that's available, but there's so much that you can do even in the moment right now, where you might think that it's void of opportunities, right? That the opportunities do exist, right? And if you're working any of these roles, say you're a custodian, right? You don't need to see yourself as a custodian, right? You don't need to just associate yourself with that and have that be your identity, right? Oftentimes people fall into that trap where, because they're working a given occupation, that they associate their identity as a person or their self-worth as a person for that role. It's like your life can turn around and change so fast, faster than you can ever even imagine. You won't even know what happened. That's possible, right? The easiest example that I can give you, there's been plenty of people on this planet who've won the lottery, right? And their life changed in a snap of a finger. Whatever, however it is that they were living, because they hit the mega jackpot and now they have access to like all the funds that they won, their life completely, literally overnight, right? That can happen. But obviously there's infinite number of ways, other ways that your life can turn around, right? You never know if you might come across the right person that is looking for someone like you for an opportunity, for your dream opportunity, right? I don't know how it happened, right? You might not know how it's going to happen, but that's the thrill of life, right? Because there's so many surprises, so many unknowns that we just don't know. That's why we have to live it, right? You are not, I'm going to say it again, right? You are not your occupation. See, I read a book not so long ago about an individual. Right now, he's a multimillionaire, right? But back then, this was a person who went around and picked up trash, right? He was literally a trash man. And for a lot of people, that is a very demeaning job, going around picking up trash, even though that is a very essential job. So shout out to the people who, work in sanitation, who can help pick up trash, because obviously we need clean streets and we need clean facilities and everything, right? So very important for a functioning society. But yes, most people avoid a job like that, even if it pays well, because they don't want to go around picking up trash, right? This person was working as a trash man, and it was tough for them because they were not happy at their occupation, right? Like they believed they wanted more, and they believed that they were capable of more. And they knew that this was not going to last forever, that this was not going to be what they were going to do for 10, 20, 30 years, right? It was not, right? This was someone who believed that they were not their occupation. And so during their off time, they invested in books, they invested in audios and listened to things to help change their mindset and help improve them as a person, so that because they were able to invest in themselves, they themselves became more of a valuable person. And because they're more of a valuable person, they see the value within themselves. They can help spread that value now to other people and help change the lives of other people. And so that is how they were eventually able to progress from being a trash man to a multimillionaire, right? This was someone who back then, could rarely ever go out to eat at restaurants. Or if they needed to wash their car, right, they weren't taking the car to a car wash. They had to hand wash it to save money, right? Like, this was someone who was very sensitive as far as like money wise, right? Spending money, because the money that they brought in was very limited, right? And they struggled to pay bills, right? Like, this was the situation of this person, but because they invested in themselves, because they seen more to themselves, that led them to invest in themselves. And because they began seeing the value in themselves and who they really were, they share that same value now with other people. And that's what helped them, be able to begin living their dream lives, right? Or work towards their dream life. So this is what I mean, right? I hope the video serves as an antidote to have you realize that you are not your occupation, regardless of where you're at. If you're unhappy, if you're frustrated, right? Begin investing in yourself. Begin looking for self-development books and audio so that you can better yourself, because oftentimes we're frustrated with where we're at because it be a short-sighted mentality, thinking that that's all we're worth, that's all we're good for. That's not all you're good for. You are destined for greatness, and you can make such an impact in the lives of everyone, in your own life, in the life of people around you, and the lives of everyone around the world. You have the power to change the world. You can do great things. You can live life beyond your wildest dreams, beyond your wildest imagination, and live life, working towards your dreams and eventually get there, right? But you need to first accept that if you're working somewhere that you don't want to be at, accept that you are not your occupation, that you are not destined to do this, that you are destined to do more, and that you are great, right? Even if right now it may not seem that way, you are great, you are capable, you have so much potential, untapped potential most likely within you, that if you just invested in yourself to learn about yourself and the world around you, that you truly begin to see how powerful you are and how valuable you actually are this entire time, and how much of a difference you can make in the lives of everyone around you and the world. So remember, if wherever it is you're at right now, in that occupation, if it frustrates you, if you're angry, it's okay. I understand, trust me, I understand. But for the time being, just make peace with it and smile, knowing that this is temporary, that it's not a life sentence, right? That it's temporary, and that it will all change very soon. And you'll have so much fun thinking about it that way, because then if you know it's all temporary, why would you be angry or frustrated knowing that something good is already lined up for you on its way, right? You will enjoy each and every day, even at that temporary role, because you know it'll be finished soon, right? So might as well just have fun, because this will be the last time you're going to be there, right? That's how you begin approaching things. So once again, as a reminder, you are not your occupation. Life can change for you so fast, and you can be living your wild life beyond your wildest imagination in due time. So it's why you want to have fun, make peace with where you're at, and just be grateful for it all. Be grateful for the journey, and continue investing in yourself, because you invest in yourself, like, that's the best investment you can ever make. And that's how you bring out the best version of yourself for the world to see. And that's how you can share so much of yourself with the rest of the world. And that will help you, of course, your morale and your joy, because ultimately we were put here on this planet to have fun. We weren't put here to work as a server, unless that's, even if that's your dream occupation, that's all you want to do, like, you're still destined for more, right? Same with being a janitor or a trash person, we were not put on this earth to do that, right? We were put on this earth to have fun, experience joy, but to also to be more, to bring out the best version of ourselves. So let's start doing that so that we can begin creating our dream life. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe as we are on the road to 1 million subscribers, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.